Move sideways.
Because I won't be able to get out chair, y'all.
Alright, okay.
So let me see how people. Let me see if people will complain about it.
Okay. Sit it sideways. Okay.
Yeah, I'll try.
Alright, son. Okay, we're gonna build up the live. Please share the live as we are about to embark on a 60-day cancer prevention program. Yeah, and there were so many people coming in with cancer these days. So it's very imperative that we talk about prevention instead of having to treat the disease. Yeah. Okay. Tonight we have here my brethren, Brother Hagley, Kurt Hagley, the next big herbalist in Grenada. You know what I mean? Learning well. And then we have Brother Leonard Bass, who is here and leaving tomorrow. You know, I'm sad he got to leave because he became my brother.
Oh, shoot.
You know?
Switch the camera by accident. Gone.
Yeah. So we're going to talk to Brother Leonard Bass about his journey and what he is doing for a lot of our students in Grenada and to help our students to get what do you call it? Scholarships. Mm-hmm. Wonderful, and that is very significant. You know, so Brother Leonard Bass is going to talk about that, and we're going to talk about his journey and what he's been doing in Grenada and how others can benefit from what he have learned. Yeah. So we're going to talk about some of his treatment and what he did. Very disciplined though. Eating once per day, right? Yep. All right. So the first thing we're going to talk about is Brother Bass' journey. You know, and then we're going to get into the students and what he's trying to do for our people here in terms of education and scholarships. Yeah, it's very important. I think you are a dean of a university,
yes.
Right? Okay.
Dean at Valencia College. Yeah, so I'm a dean at Valencia College. I've been at Valencia College for 10 years. And do you want me to just go into this?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, so in December of 2021, I was diagnosed with colon cancer. So in the summer of 2021, I started having stomach pain and irregular bowel movements and blood in the stool. And that lasted for about 4 months. And then it got to a point where it was daily. It was very consistent. And I started working with a gastroenterologist. He initially diagnosed me with acute proctitis and then diverticulitis. And the medication that I was getting for that wasn't working. And so I started to, I was asked to do a colonoscopy. So I did a colonoscopy in December, and that's when they found a 7-centimeter tumor in my sigmoid colon. So in the part of the colon that connects to the rectum. So at that point, obviously, my wife and I were devastated, and we started looking for ways to pursue treatment. So I worked with an oncologist who recommended chemo, radiation, and surgery. That's really kind of the standard treatment approach that they take with Western medicine. So I lost my father to leukemia. I know how taxing chemotherapy can be on the body. And so I initially started doing some research to see if there were other ways that I could fight cancer. And I decided that I wasn't going to do chemo. And so after getting COVID in January, I was really sick. I was hospitalized. I had a fusion in the heart, in the gallbladder, in the liver. Blood was, or water, was in fluids were building up around my major organs. And I knew I didn't want to do chemo. And so I went to Mexico, tried a treatment there. And after that treatment, I moved from stage 3 colon cancer to stage 4. And then at that point, the oncologist that I was working with said, we have to do chemotherapy. So I did 6 rounds of chemotherapy up until August 26th. And then I came here to work with Dr. Deltz. A close friend of mine recommended him and told me what the kind of results he was having working with other cancer patients who were late stage. And after talking to him and hearing how knowledgeable he was about herbal medicine, and just hearing the results that he was getting from others, I knew I had to come and work with him. And so one of the things that I would just encourage listeners to think about is the importance of sharing your story. I wouldn't be here if I didn't tell people that I had cancer. And so it's really important that people who have cancer share their story with others. So in the same way that cancer creates an army to take over your body, you need an army to fight cancer. Right? And so Dr. Delves has been the captain of the army of people who've been praying for me, who've been doing research for me, who've been sharing information about how to eat and how to live and how to work, take care of my body. And so I just couldn't be more grateful for the work that Dr. Delves does. I've spent 3 weeks with him here, and when I arrived, my tumor was at 4.7 centimeters. This morning we did some test scanning, right, and now it's at 1.3 centimeters. So in 18 days we've been together, yeah. 3 weeks. My cancer shrunk by over 3 centimeters.
The first week, in 9 days, it went from 4.7 to 2.3.
Right.
And today we did another ultrasound, and it's now 1.3.
That's right.
But you said something about Mexico. Mm-hmm. That was an alternative.
Yeah, they really focused on immunotherapy. A form of immunotherapy.
Okay. But you said that you did enemas there.
Yes.
And
enemas,
and you said the cancer was also in your liver at a particular time.
In the colon.
Right.
Mm-hmm. And then moved to the liver.
Yeah. So it went from stage 3
yeah.
to stage 4.
Correct.
While you were in Mexico.
Yes.
Okay. So you had to do the chemotherapy.
That's right. Yeah. I came back. Yeah.
All right. Now, since you were in Grenada, I mean, we did a lot of stuff together.
Yeah.
What is the results like to you? How are you feeling?
Yeah, I feel great. So when I got here, I had just finished a round of chemo the week of August 22nd. Yeah, because then I had the MRI August 26th, and that's when they determined that the tumor was at 4.7 centimeters. And if you've gone through chemo, it's very taxing. It wears you down. It's a toxic drug, and so I had very little energy. I had very little strength, and just felt nauseous when I was traveling here. After a week of going through the herbal treatments that Dr. Delves has prescribed, I started to build strength. He's taking me to the gym every day, and I have a lot more energy. This afternoon, yes. I ran for about an hour and a half in the neighborhood, and just have a new lease on life. So for anyone who is questioning the power of herbal medicine, unless I had this experience, I really wouldn't understand it. But I can tell you, just as someone who's gone through this, that it is a powerful way to treat cancer, and probably the best way to treat cancer for sure.
And we've been doing massages also.
And massages, that's right.
And we've been doing juices and lots of coconut water.
Love my coconut water, yeah.
And what we're doing with Brother Leonard is we were doing like a cleansing every week. Mm-hmm. Because of where that cancer is located in the sewage system. Mm-hmm. We seem to must keep that particular area clean at all times so that the cancer can feed. And we're going to show you a few herbs that we have in a product called angio blockers that help to prevent the tumors from creating blood vessels. And that is what our 60-day cancer prevention program is going to do for lots of people who do have cancer and who want to prevent cancer from forming. That 60-day program will be amazing for a lot of people because you can tell people that you hear the calls I get every day because they're on speaker, so you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And you can tell them today and even days we're together how many calls we have from people all over the world.
That's right.
With what Leonard, with cancer.
That's right. That's right. Yeah. And so I would just say that it's important for you to follow the program, right? Dr. Dells is one person, and he has support from family and others, but he's getting calls literally from the time he picks me up in the morning until the time that he drops me off in the evening from people all over the world, the Netherlands, the islands, Canada, I mean, all over the world, literally. From people who have seen his Facebook postings and have heard testimonies of other patients that he's worked with that he has cured and healed. And so I would say follow the 60-day program. Again, I have a 1.3 centimeter tumor in my colon, so you can believe that I'm going to continue on the program with you or with anyone who might start the program. I am a firm believer in the work that he does and have really just seen the results in a very short period of time, right? So it took chemo about 3 months to shrink the tumor, and it took 18 days to do even more, to have even more significant impact on effect on the tumor. So. And my body's getting healthier and stronger, right? And it wasn't done in a way that really kind of broke me down and made me unable to work or unable to take care of my family. So I'm indebted to the work that you do. And the other thing that I would say is that Dr. Dells really takes kind of a holistic approach to herbal medicine, right? Really understanding the efficacy of each herb that he's using. Really understanding the body and how the body works, and I think that's really that's the key to his success. Is he really understands anatomy and physiology. He really understands the body, the science behind the herbs, the science behind bodily function and organ function, and he's taught me a ton. And I know I still have a lot to learn.
Oh yeah, we learned
but I'm getting started along just that learning journey. But seeing significant results in terms of the healing that I've received in a very short period of time. Yeah. So I would really encourage you to follow the program. And the other thing I would say is, mindset is important. You've taught me that. Mindset is very important, right? You have to believe that you can be healed, right? Faith of a mustard seed can move mountains. We know that, right? From the word, right?
Yes, sir.
And so you have to believe that you can be healed, right? And you have to have, again, your army, people praying for you, people doing research for you, people encouraging you when you feel down, right? When you feel hopeless. And so I just couldn't thank you enough for being the captain of that army.
I want to thank you for coming, though.
I know a lot of people want to be here, and a lot of people want your treatments, and so I just feel very honored. And so, as a way to just show my appreciation and my family's appreciation, we are going to set up a scholarship in Dr. Dell's name. The Patrick and Christy Delves Scholarship, STEM Scholarship, to help young Grenadian students pursue the area of science. So look for more information about that. If you want to support that, the scholarship, there will be opportunities to support the scholarship, but we're going to start with a $2,500 gift to TAMCC. TAMCC, so that young people in Grenada have an opportunity to pursue higher education and to continue their learning, and we can carry on the legacy of helping others that Dr. Dells and his beautiful family have kind of expressed and shared and taught me while I've been here.
Yeah, and your wife is a scientist, right?
And my wife is a scientist. That's right. That's right. She's a biochemist.
Yeah, biochemist. Yeah, that's wonderful, man. Yeah. And you notice when Leonard was here, we got a call from someone who was in Canada, who lives in Canada. The lady's from Africa too, and she was in hospice, and she's out of hospice, because of the tumor that put the hole in her lungs, and so it can be done. We got some calls today. Remember having you got a call today? Yeah. The experience that on the phone, because you want to phone with a person.
Yeah. So, what is alarming now? We've seen that a lot of people are coming out with cancers.
Yeah.
And not specific, obviously, to any one part of the body. And years ago, we would normally be seeing lots of cases with the hypertension, the diabetes. And so now almost 1 in every 3 calls notice you're getting it related to cancer. And it's not just the fact that people are calling for help, but it's also causing a lot of mental and disturbances when you listen to the people, because they're losing their loved ones to cancer, from 5-year-old kids to
1-year-old.
Yeah. So it is something that is very alarming, and we definitely have to take some stringent measures through. In our case, we use the natural medicine and that, and it's probably the most effective way at this point in time that we will have to pursue. So this brother has given a living testimony, obviously, of what he's been through, and has says most of it. And so it's an example for people abroad, people locally, to start to take heed and seek the prevention. It's not about curing, because I think most people get misled when it comes to herbal medicine and or natural medicine, as we say, and that they think it's okay to live and it's okay to get sick, and now try to reverse that problem by now trying to eat healthy and using the herbs. But it's more of a preventative, because it's better
Prevention
to prevent.
is the key. Yeah.
So
That's why we create the program. And I want to mention this today. We had 2 calls today. A 28-year-old sister from Jamaica, and her brother called, and she had a brain tumor. Chemotherapy was done, radiation was done, and now she can't eat, can't talk, can't see, because the tumor came back with a vengeance. And sometimes there's nothing that we can do, when the person cannot consume foods. So I'm hoping that some miracle would happen. But 28 years old, then we had a 36-year-old, breast cancer. So it's not about just women coming down with breast cancer. It's cancer from in the brain. We had somebody from Canada today again, a brother, had multiple myeloma, cancer of the bones, where they put he said titanium in his spine, and he's still doing chemotherapy. You see what I'm saying? So, and that's the reason why I'm trying to create programs so that we can prevent cancer. As I said before, Dr. Mitchell Gaynor said, and he was an oncologist. He said, in 2020 and up, 1 in every 3 households will have somebody in that household coming with cancer, or some of us going to know someone who is suffering from cancer, who died from cancer. See what I'm saying? And it's happening every day. There's a 5-year-old with sarcoma in the knee. Big tumor. 5-year-old. There's a 1-year-old tumor in the brain. And we just helped a 25-year-old to remove the tumor in her brain. So these things can be done. So what we're going to do, we're going to show you some herbs that you can educate you all about the herbs that have shrinking ability, that can remove tumors. Not only radiation does, not only surgery do, but and chemotherapy does, but also their plants. It might take a longer time with plants, but they do work once you put yourself in a situation to remove these sicknesses or these diseases. Okay. With Leonard, because his cancer is in his sigmoid colon. The sigmoid is on the left side, right next to the rectum, and in order for us to keep that tumor from growing, we must keep that area clean, and that is what doctors don't teach people. You see what I'm saying? If you have cancer in the colon, which a lot of people seem to have, because that is one of the 5 leading cancers in North America. You see what I'm saying? Once that cancer gets there and it's growing, you must be able to keep that particular area clean at all times. Because once that area is all messed up, because that's a sewage system, once that area is all messed up, then you have waste sitting there. The cancer is going to keep on feeding and feeding, and it's going to grow. So what we did with Brother Bass was we gave him lots of probiotics. And then we gave him some buffer pH. So we buffer the system, and I chuck his pH back to 7.8, 8.0 down there. So the higher the pH in the intestines, the less the cancer can survive. That's number one. Number two, the cleaner the intestines is the less the cancer can survive. So if you go over here, son, come over here. These are some of the herbs that was given in the angio blockers. This herb is called red clover. And this herb have lots of isoflavones, but it have lots of genistein. And genistein act as what we call a chemical that prevents your tumor from creating more blood vessels. So this herb shrink tumors, but it also prevents your cancer cells from creating more tumors. And that is why Dr. Hoxsey was so successful with shrinking tumors in patients by using red clover, but with other plants. Although this herb shrinks tumors, it also is good for people who have trouble in the lung from pertussis. But it also works on the lymphatic system. If you have fibrocystic breast disease as a woman, it works there too. So it's a shrinker. But it not only shrinks tumors, but it also prevents your tumor from creating more blood vessels so they can feed. And this is studies. Yeah? So what we did was we made this herb called red clover the main herb. And then we go to this herb here called danqui. And lots of people feel that this herb here is only for women. That's not true. It's a herb for when you have trouble in the heart, if you have a failing heart. If you mix this herb with astragalus and another herb called hohang and hawthorn leaf and flower and turmeric, it is also significant for when you have what we call left ventricle hypertrophy. Yeah? This herb here. But it moves the blood. And if you want to shrink a tumor, you must move the blood. So although this herb called danqui or angelica move the blood, it also shrink things. So it is good for women who have PCOS, polycystic ovarian syndrome. It is also good for women who have ovarian cysts and uterine fibroids because it's a shrinker. But it also deals with uterine circulation, so it moves the blood. So we have this herb as the supporting herb in the mixture. And then because lots of cancer patients suffer from low HBs, like Brother Bass had a low HB, right?
Yeah.
We put in a herb called Romania. This herb helps to balance back the immune system. It acts as what we call an immunoregulator or moderator of the immune system. But it works on the spleen. It builds to make the spleen build to make the blood. And then you have another dry one help the liver to store the blood. But it also works on the kidney because the kidney also works with the red blood cells, bone marrow. So we put this herb in there in order for the patient who have a low HB now to bring back up the HB. So if you look at brother, you have the test there, brother? Yeah. Right, he's going to find his test. Now when we did a CBC for Brother Bass, his HB was 10, his white blood cells was low, and then we had a platelets of 125. See that there? See that there? So we want to show all your printing in black and white. We're going to make it a little bigger. Right, so if you look at his numbers, that was the first test, right?
Yes.
If you look at the number here, you're going to see that he have, bring it a little bigger. Right. You see the HB? See the HB was what? 10, right? You go down to the bottom, you're going to see his platelets was 125. Yeah? So that means that the white blood cell was too low, so we had to push it back up. Yeah? We had to push back up the HB from 10 because he's anemic, and a lot of people who have cancer have low HBs. That's common sense. So we had to give him what we call a cell and blood builder to build the cells and build the blood at the same time. Now let's look at the second test that you did. The second CBC. We did one today again. It's called a complete blood count. Now we look at the second one. Bring up you could bring it a little further, right? Look at the second one, right? You're going to see that his HB went to what? To 11.5, I believe. All right? It could go across, right? See? 12.5 HB. So his HB moved from 10 to 12.5 in 8 days. You see what I'm saying? Because we are, as I said before, lots of cancer patients have low HBs. But we push back up the platelets. Look at the platelets, push up the platelets. His platelets was 125, which was low because the platelets supposed to be 150 to 450 or 450,000. We push it back up from 125 to 179. You see what I'm saying? Now let's go to the ultrasounds now. You can find that for me?
Yep.
And we're going to see now with the ultrasound, we're going to look at the first ultrasound where the tumor was 4.7. We're going to look at the second one. All right? The first one?
Yes.
Wonderful. Look at the first one. See? Look at that right over there. Go down a little further, son, right there. Right. That's the first ultrasound was 4.8
actually.
Right, 4.8. Now let's go to the second ultrasound now. Liver is good, kidney is good, spleen is good, pancreas is good. Look at the second ultrasound. Go up a little further. There we go. Second ultrasound. Right? See what it says here? What it says, son? Here? 2 point how much?
Yeah, which one?
Ultrasound. See the numbers here?
2.7.
2.7. Alright? So now we did another ultrasound today and it went to 1.3. So the tumor in his colon, in the sigmoid colon, went from 4.7 to 2.3, now today 1.3. Yeah? And the CBC, the complete blood count, is getting better now because we are pushing up the WBC, pushing back up the RBC red blood cells, push back up the platelets, and push back up the HB. And all the band cells, lymphocytes, monocytes, basophils, and also the MCAC, mean copular hemoglobin, we push them back up also. Yeah? Wonderful. So, we know for a fact that the chemotherapy kills the good cells and the bad cells. So usually, if you're doing chemotherapy, you're going to have a low white blood cell count after chemotherapy is done. You're going to have a low RBC, or you're going to have a low HB, hemoglobin. Sometimes, some chemotherapy will cause neuropathy. Am I correct, sir?
That's right. Yes.
Or some chemo will cause the platelets to drop also. So what we have to come back and do in herbal medicine is to push back up, as he said, his army, to make his army fight for him. And that's what we're trying to do. So when we do that 60-day program, that 60-day program is going to prevent you from getting cancer. Because the first objective is to create a hostile environment internally to cancer. And the second objective is to make your arsenal, as Brother Bass said, your army work for you. Yeah? And the third objective is to create a high level of potassium and a low level of sodium. And then we go to the good fats. Not the bad fats, the good fats. And then we're going to create what we call create a rainbow diet. So everything from the rainbow we're going to eat for the 60 days. Yeah? And then the most important thing is to tonify and stimulate the organs of elimination so they can kill for you and I. Yeah? And then we are going to purify the blood and make the bloodstream work in a pH 7.5, 7.8, even 8.0 if you have cancer. And then the most important one is we are going to help you to eliminate waste regularly. So that's what we did with brother here. But the brother, we help him to eliminate waste on a regular basis. So every week, I clean him out. Right, sir?
That's right.
You like that, right? We clean him out. So we didn't give. No, we didn't. We don't give. We're not going to give the cancer time to grow. You know, because cancer love nastiness. They love a lot of garbage. They love and they can create blood vessels. But this herb here, come son, this herb right here, called red clover, will stop them suckers from creating blood vessels because it have genistein, and you know what I mean, and misco and tempe have genistein and diastein, which also act as preventing angiogenesis, which cause your tumors to create more blood vessels. Okay, so that's what we did, right? And we had a very good success rate with what we're doing, and then we have a lot of people who's on our program and is getting good results from just using plants. Like I said before, we are from the earth. We belong to the earth. The earth don't belong to us. The earth is the Lord's and the fullness thereof, and they that dwell within. We belong to the earth. The earth don't belong to us. So when we die, yeah, we go back to the earth. And every single thing we have on this planet here come from the earth. The plane you're flying from the earth. Come from the earth. Come from the earth. Come from the earth. Come from the earth. They all come from the earth. So that's your cure right there. So because you are from the earth, you must go back to the earth for your cure. Because in no way a chemical that's made in a lab will cure you. Think what happen? It might stop things from growing, but it would not cure you. Because you are the cure. You are the physician. Yeah, see what I'm saying? So Brother Leonard was his own physician because he followed a program. And now I want him to go back where he's from and keep on doing what he's doing and teach somebody else. Because each one teach one. Yeah, brother. All right, so because we wanted to display little things today, we're gonna do the 60-day program on Saturday night because Brother Bass is leaving tomorrow. If God gives him health and strength, he's flying back to Orlando tomorrow to his family. And brother wanted to make sure that you go back and teach somebody else, man. And please, right now you're my brother.
Yes.
So I wanted to keep in contact with you at all. Yeah, man, it's a love, you know. And don't forget, the great crowd that John saw in the vision was of all people and nations and tongues. It wasn't just black people. It wasn't just white people. It wasn't just Indian and Chinese. It was the great crowd was from all nations and peoples and tongues. So at the end of the day, we have to love each other because love conquers all things. Any closing arguments, my brother?
No, I just echo everything that you said, and I would just encourage you to listen to and follow the program. Listen to Dr. Dells, follow the program, and believe in yourself. Right?
Yes.
Believe in yourself. Have faith that you can overcome cancer. It is possible.
Yes, sir.
With God, all things are possible, and He uses people like Dr. Dells, my brother Kurt Hagley, yes. and others to bring healing. But you have to believe, right? And you have to take the steps that are necessary to bring about that healing, right? And so I just encourage you to do that, and I'm looking forward to helping as many people as I can, just sharing my story, and tell other people your story, and share your journey, your testimony, because you have no idea how that can impact other people's lives. And I'm already seeing it now, just sharing some of the results.
This man got real energy. You see him in the gym. When you see him in the gym, he's all on the treadmill. He's moving for 5 miles. And you lost some weight, right? You lost some weight.
Actually, I might be getting, I'm getting stronger and maybe gaining muscle mass.
When you came to Grenada, though, you were really enthusiastic in starting the program. Mm-hmm. I want to thank you for coming. And others who came and left and had good results. We're gonna have some more people coming in again. Mm. You know what I mean? And we are trying to get create what we call a medical tourism in Grenada. If them politicians will come on board and and see what we're doing that's helping other people. If we can't do that, we can have people coming in and we're gonna try to get a center. And we're going to have maybe some doctors on board who could come in and help, in terms of helping us to heal other people. Because that's the key. The key is not about is a doctor or a herbalist or a naturopath. It's not about who's going to get the prestige. We don't need no prestige. All we need to do is to help another person to get better. We want all the glory goes to the Most High, Jehovah God. That's it. You know what I mean? So it's not about chemotherapy or herbal medicine or radiation or surgery. It's about the individual or the doctors or the herbalist or the naturopath helping that individual, to see a way to get better. That's the key. Yeah? Okay. Hagley, anything last words, man? Well, that's the next herbalist right here in Grenada, man.
I would just like to encourage, I know many people are on board and I'm speaking to my people locally. to continue and take the experiences and teachings, most of all, from my mentor, teacher, Mr. Dels, when it comes to your health. People are really slacking, they cannot be bothered, and until the issue come up, the disease, then they rush and they're crazy for help. And it doesn't work like that, because he's one person and cannot serve the whole world. So it's important that each one teach one and share, like now, share life, love each other, and always remember, put God in everything. But take heed, learn as much, and each one help the other.
Yes, sir. Right, cameraman, with all Yes, well, I know you're a journeyman. I know it's sad you're going to get to leave, but you have to go back to your family, brother. But I want to thank you for coming. I want to thank you for putting the trust in what we're doing in Grenada. And I hope that when you go back to where in Orlando, right?
Yes.
I want you to go teach someone else, because we cannot reach the whole world.
Okay.
But at least in your community, if you know somebody who have cancer or have a disease, you can say, look at what I did, and then they could follow what you did, and you can guide them, because at the end of the day, each one teach one. You know? Love you, my brother.
Love you too.
All right, man. Keep there. All right. Bless and love everybody. And Saturday we're gonna put up the 60-day instructions. But don't forget, you gotta get it. And if you have cancer, angio blockers, deep defense, counter attack, liver cancer, liver and skin. Yeah? Cell and blood builder, to build the cells and build the blood. And we're going to go into detail and show you what you're going to have to do for that program, starting on the 21st of October to the 21st of December. Yeah? And don't forget that the website is patrickdelvesholistichealing.com.
Getting a call already.
Yeah. All right, that's from Antigua. Yeah. Patrick Delves, holistichealing.com. Number is 1473-416-2310 or 1473-420-0856. All right, and you can go to the website and you can look for angio blockers. I think it's almost sold out, but you can get that from either Ambrosia 718-469-0985. You can ask for Ashanti, and he will also help with the program. We're going to start on the 21st of October 2022 to the 21st of December 2022. Blessed love to everybody, and don't forget to give the Most High all the praises.
That's all day, every day.
All day, every minute. Don't forget to give all the praises and the glory to the Most High, because at the end of the day, He is the ultimate physician of all things and the healer of all things.
Amen.
Give no glory to no man.
Oh, it's somebody call it. It's still on.
Still on? Okay.
Somebody will just call it.
Say good job.